On behalf of the Department of Natural Resources, I'd like to welcome you to the annual public informational meeting for Weston Bend State Park. I'm Superintendent Shanea Frederick. Informational meetings are held for all state parks and historic sites each year to ensure citizens have input regarding facilities and services. I'm joining you today from the Scenic Overlook. This popular feature of the park is located on the river bluffs overlooking the Missouri River. The Missouri State Park System has 93 parks and historic sites with over 160,000 acres for public use. The park's soils and water sales tax provides about 75% of the funding for the system. That sales tax is split between Missouri State Parks and the Missouri Soil and Water Conservation Program. The remaining 25% of funding comes from revenue generated in parks. The mission of the park system is to preserve and interpret the state's finest examples of natural landscapes and cultural landmarks, and to provide recreational opportunities compatible with those resources. Weston Bend State Park is located 40 minutes north of Kansas City, just outside of the historic town of Weston, Missouri. The park consists of 1,133 acres of wooded river bluffs bordered on one side by the Missouri River. Over the last 5 years, Weston Bend has had an average of just over 297,000 visitors per year. The Weston area is rich in agricultural history and was once the largest producing area of tobacco in the state. That history is showcased at Weston Bend's historic 1930s tobacco barn, which contains interpretive panels that highlight the tobacco production of the area. The park opened in August of 1990 and boasts 10 miles of hiking trails, 6 miles of which are open to bicycle use. The 37-site campground offers basic 30-amp and 50-amp electric campsites. Camping at Weston Bend is extremely popular and advanced reservations are highly recommended. Weston Bend maintenance staff have been busy maintaining and improving the park's buildings and grounds. In addition to the regular tasks of mowing, weed trimming, and cleaning, staff were able to make exterior improvements to the campground shower house. The shower house received a fresh coat of paint and the old deteriorating privacy fence was replaced. By replacing the wooden fence with vinyl, we were not only able to greatly improve the appearance, but we were able to increase the lifespan of the fence while reducing future maintenance and labor costs. Park staff continuously look for ideas and materials that will lower future costs of operations. Invasive species control and containment is a primary objective for park staff. Since the last public meeting, staff have devoted approximately 279 hours to the removal of invasive plant species. The primary plants targeted at Weston Bend include Sericea lespedeza, Johnson grass, bush honeysuckle, autumn olive, tree of heaven, and bull thistle. Control is achieved through the use of hand and machine removal and herbicide application. Interpretive programming is offered throughout the year at Weston Bend. In the last year, park staff has offered 94 programs and one special event. These programs have had an attendance of approximately 3,027 adults and children. Program topics have included birds, flowers, trees, mammals, tobacco and agricultural history, tobacco barn tours, guided nature walks, and outdoor skills. Park staff also offer regular programs off-site to the local senior centers. This year saw the return of the annual Wings Over Weston event. This event is hosted at Weston Bend's Bee Creek Shelter. The event focuses on educating the public on birds and bird migration and offers many kid-friendly activities. We are looking forward to the next Wings Over Weston, which will be held in early May of next year. The upcoming year looks to be a busy one for Weston Bend State Park. There are 3 major construction projects currently in various stages of design and development. Construction is expected to begin in the fall of this year for a large culvert repair project on the paved trail. The project will consist of removing 2 culverts and replacing them with 1 large culvert. The section of trail over the culvert will then be slightly raised in elevation and the surface restored. This project was funded in part by a federal Recreational Trails Program grant. We are in the beginning stages of design for a water and wastewater improvement project. This project will focus on replacing and rerouting portions of the park's water system, as well as upgrades to the campground sewer system. These upgrades are being funded with American Rescue Plan funds. There's also a project in the latter stages of design for an addition to the campground. The project will consist of adding a new loop of 14 full hookup campsites, a new host site, and an additional small shower house. The new campsites will be located adjacent to the current campground. Over the last 5 years, Weston Bend has sold an average of 4,917 camping nights per year. Increasing the number of sites available will help us to better serve Missouri's camping public. The campground expansion project is being funded by a revenue bond initiative and a federal Land and Water Conservation Fund grant. Thank you for watching and attending our virtual public meeting. Please feel free to share this link with your family and friends. We welcome your feedback as this video will be posted until the end of the month. If you have any questions, you can reach out to the park office at 816-640-5443 or email us at westonbendstatepark@dnr.mo.gov. You may also use the comments section to provide feedback focused on the operations at Weston Bend State Park. If you have any other questions or comments, you can email moparks@dnr.mo.gov. The Weston Bend contact information is also listed in the video description for your convenience. Thanks to the citizens of Missouri, our state parks and historic sites are supported by 0.1% of the park soils and water sales tax. This sales tax allows free access to Missouri's 93 state parks and historic sites. Remember, you're always welcome in Missouri state parks.